Sweet. Awesome. Welcome back, everyone, to Tribute Talk. We are talking about chapters 19 and 20 of Catching Fire this week. So we are in the arena, finally.
Yeah, finally.
Beginning part 3 of Catching Fire. Ballad news. Is there ballad news?
There's nothing this week.
There's nothing.
Tragically.
I keep thinking, I don't know who said it. I think it was AJ that said it last week. Like, they feel hopeful every single day waking up, having like just this hope that today's going to be the day that news is going to drop. And I've been trying to be more optimistic, and we'll still wait. We're waiting, but it's fine. So no news, but fun
Did
chat.
we get that was that rumor last week?
The Rachel.
Yeah. Was that last week? Or
I
did we talk about it last
week? It was right before we recorded.
Okay, yeah. They're like potentially looking for like a Rachel Zegler type for Lucy Gray, which, I mean, that's so vague.
So vague.
Not really anything to talk about because it could mean so many things.
Rumor. I guess one thing of news is we posted that we are ending our podcast.
Oh, right.
And the first one to respond saying BS was Chase, of course.
The only person to respond that way, really.
Yeah.
Everyone else was like, no. And we love that people were reaching out, but we were like, no, it's clearly it's fake. But
I was so upset. That Lionsgate was like shutting you guys down for like, releasing information because Emily was like digging deep for the ballad facts, and I thought they were coming after you guys. I was like freaking out. I didn't realize what day of the week it was. And
hey, you guys might have to come break us out of Lionsgate jail one day. I don't know.
Yes.
See, you all could be in jail and I still wouldn't believe it. I'd be like, yeah, get out of there. Like the day that y'all doing it, I'll be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, good to know who not to call.
Yeah.
Yo, is Jerry in the waiting room? He says he's in the waiting room now.
I got here. I'm sorry.
Hey.
Yay!
It was just saying that it was connecting this whole time. So
Aww.
I tried again, but I'm here.
They tried to start without you, Jerry, and I put my foot down. I said, no.
Yeah.
Until he's here, we're not doing anything.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Chase.
But yet you still stayed and started with us.
That's a lie. I made everyone turn on mute until we had him here.
Yeah, totally. That was
I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We're just talking about the lack of ballad news this past week, and yeah, that's about it. And we didn't cancel our podcast, so
oh yeah. Oh, I just sent the gift, like the blink staring gift. I was like, really? Come on.
Excuse
me.
You were on. You and Jason.
My idea, folks. That was all Holly. Just saying.
I know. I just posted it, and then everybody was like,
and she kept it going too. People were responding, and she was like, "Yeah, it's so sad."
I did not. No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry. Like, oh my gosh,
so bad. But it's fine. We're still here. Anyway, happy beginning of April. I can't believe it. I can't believe that Onset Cinema is coming up before we know it.
Right? That's gonna be so fun.
Craziness. So that's something to look forward to in the near future. But I guess we can just dive into our chapters tonight. Some fun ones, some arena chapters.
Part 3.
Dun, dun, dun.
This, I have to say, is like the most exciting chapter of the book, I feel like.
Yeah.
Which I hate that I feel that way, because it's like, oh yeah, the games, but it's the most intense, like, exciting part, I think.
60% of the way through the book, it finally starts.
Right? I have definitely decided that The Hunger Games is better than Catching Fire.
Yes.
I know.
Even though you guys were so team Catching Fire for so long.
I don't know what I was thinking.
I kind of agree, though. I kind of agree.
No, I
I've been
love
It's
feeling that way
underrated.
too.
It's overrated because of the movies.
Okay, but Nicole, like, why is it your favorite?
I love Catching Fire because of like the beginning of the book, like before they get to the games, like the like all the like I don't know, just everything that happens. I don't even know how to explain it. Just like seeing her like how she is after going through the first games and like her relationship with PETA and like finding out that she's going back and like just all that stuff leading up to it, like everything that changes in District 12. I think that's so interesting, and I think you get to see like her relationships with people develop. And I just like love all those little details. Like my literal favorite part of this book is when she like falls on her tailbone and like hurts it, like and then like goes back to the house and like there's obviously like people there being like, where's she at? And then like we've got like Hamish and PETA like joking, and they're all like joking with her about the goat and everything. Like that is my favorite part of the whole book. Like I love the beginning parts of the book, so that's why it's my favorite.
Oh, the part they took out of the movie.
Yeah.
Sadly.
I think the lead up to Catching Fire games is better than the lead up to the Hunger Games games, but the Hunger Games games is better than the Catching Fire games, and that's the truth.
I like that Catching Fire. The arena was really intense.
I think the arena's cool, but I do like the Hunger Games better. Oh my gosh.
It's so much more survival based, and I guess I like that better.
Yeah, I really like that rereading the first book.
Yeah, once they actually like get to the games and Catching Fire, I'm actually like less intrigued and interested. Like once, even in the movie, like once I get to that part, I'm like, okay, I'm like, let's wrap it up. So, yeah, I don't know. That's my like my weird take on it, I guess. Not this happen.
I just feel so bad for Katniss here at the beginning of the chapter.
Oh.
Just thinking about Cinna and like not being able to handle it. But it kind of backfires because pretty quick she is resolved to like lean even more into her plan of rebelling as much as she can in the arena, with the addition of like now seeing Cinna and seeing that happen to him.
I just like am always, I mean, like I know that this is like a huge factor in the books, but like just the way that like Snow uses like the people around her and the people around like others in the books to like as a weapon to just like cause them like mental or physical pain just like shocks me. Like I just like the disposal of like human life. It's like
it's the things we love most that destroy us.
Just like that just like sticks with me every time I read the books. I'm like, oh my gosh, because like I don't know, I feel like I can always like think about like how I would feel if I was in that situation, and like how if like the people close to me were used against me like in this horrible way, like I would be unhinged too. I feel like I'd be crazier than her. Like
Hey.
Yay.
No, but I think off of your point, it reminds me of how it wasn't originally Snow who had this whole idea of like using your loved ones for harm. It was like Lucy Gray and Ballad that I remember like reading that and being like, oh my god, he got this from Lucy Gray.
oh, good point.
I don't know. That's what I think of every time now.
I was trying to think if this connected to Ballad at all, but I kind of forgot about that. I feel like I forget so much of what happens in Ballad, even though I know that I liked it.
I need to reread it so bad. I feel like I've forgotten everything.
Yeah, I need to read it like 10 more times.
Yeah,
It's just so long.
I just feel like I haven't processed like all the names of the people in it, like what happens, like I don't know, it just hasn't sunk in.
I love watching on YouTube. There's like the Sims death, like I don't know if you look up like Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes on YouTube. It's like these really bad Sims videos, and it shows them in the arena, and I love it. Like I just
Oh my
my
gosh.
God. I can watch that now.
Send that.
iconic.
I love that.
I like this part of the book compared to the movie because like we're getting to see like how she's talking about like she wants to think like a career now, and I mean, in the movies, obviously it all happens so fast, but when you're reading, like you can expand on like time, I guess. But I just love this intro part where she's like making her way to the cornucopia and she's like swimming, and then the conversation with Finnick, like, oh, I had a big bathtub. That's what I wanted to swim. Like, how could you be so funny?
Yeah.
After
It's
Cinna
just like
died?
such a casual conversation too. But you know, it's such an intense moment.
Exactly. After she just witnessed Cinna die, get murdered right in front of her, and she's just like joking around.
Also, I love how she's saying with like bitterness, like, oh, the arena must have been built for you. I'm like, Katniss, the arena like that you were in last time was basically built for you. So what are you talking about?
That's very true.
I just love to hear her thoughts. Like, I feel like I love the movies, but like you can't hear like her thoughts. Like you can't know what's going on in her head. And I do think Jennifer Lawrence does like a really great job, in my opinion, like reflecting how like she's supposed to be like feeling and stuff. But I just love to hear her thoughts because I just think she's so interesting, and I just like forget how like vicious she is. Like jumping like ahead a tiny bit, like just her thinking about whether she like wants to kill Finnick or not. I'm like, oh my gosh, like she really thought about that. Like,
Yeah, she has some vicious thoughts.
yeah. And she like talks about it too. She's like, she's like he was like, oh, like, what are they all holding hands and stuff? Like, did they all put down their weapons? And she's like, no. And she says, like, look how fast, like, I turn vicious. Like, can I really be talking? And I'm like, oh, interesting.
I love that Finnick is the one keeping the pregnancy storyline alive too.
I forget when I watch the movies that like even exists because they like don't play it up at all. So when I was reading that, I was like, oh, I forgot that he's like the one that's like egging it on here.
It's interesting that like most of the tributes are still like they're not able to swim too, and they haven't figured out the like flotation device belt either. So they're just kind of like stuck there. Like that's pretty awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Like, I kind of wish that they had let some of them drown. I don't know.
Not the drowning.
I mean, maybe some of them did.
Well, I know, but it's just like, how awkward is that? Like, I guess I understand it's like humiliating to watch them just like sit there, like floating around, or add some sharks in there. I don't know, like something fun.
I love that Katniss is just like, maybe there's something in the water, but you know, sometimes it's not good to think about too many scenarios.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, me
Yeah,
at my
true.
anxiety.
I couldn't be in games because my anxiety would be like kicked in and I would be dead in a minute.
Oh, absolutely.
Same.
There's no way. Okay, something I found really interesting. I don't know if this is like
First movie quote.
Oh my gosh. Something I found interesting was like how they only have like weapons in the cornucopia. Like I don't know if I didn't notice that. I don't know if it's like obvious in the movies or what, but like I just thought that was like really interesting. Like I didn't like I kept thinking about it. Like why not like add any other like survival stuff in there? Like I know they like obviously like are trying to make a point with the victors and whatnot, and like they want them dead and they want Katniss dead, but like they're gonna die anyway, so I'm not really getting what the reasoning was. I just thought that was interesting. I don't know.
Just like all-star level. I don't know. It just makes me think of Survivor, how like this season and last season they weren't giving them any rice.
And it was the hardest game ever.
I guess because like Katniss says that the games are so unpopular, they probably wanted to go by fast. So if it takes like somebody starving to death and to get it over with, then that's what it has to take.
Which is that the goal with the water too? Like making the water so hard to get?
Probably, yeah.
I'm sure that other tributes didn't ever find water. Because how would they have gotten it without the spile?
Sorry. I don't know what's going on in the chat. Sorry.
I have so much notes, but I like don't know what to talk about.
Ooh, one thing that I loved was where Finnick is like, oh yeah, you better be careful because you're pregnant. And she goes, well, I'm trying to think what that means and how I should act. Maybe throw up or something. I'm like, yeah. I like laughed so hard. I love that line.
I literally wrote in like my annotations, I was like, everyone else is better at this act than she is.
Yeah. Seriously. I just love that that's her first instinct, like throw up or something.
She is pretty good at acting, though. Like, I mean, when she has to make up that story about her ear,
Yeah.
and how she can hear,
I totally forgot about that.
it's a little much, though. I mean, she's like, she says some like crazy things that she can hear. And I'm like, oh, okay, Katniss. Like the sound of snow falling, like insect wings or something like that.
The way like it's like believable.
Here's
that
snow falling. He's falling.
Oh.
Really read between those lines there for that.
All right, Suzanne.
Suzanne's like, finally someone.
I'm also the one person who understands.
Ollie, that's hilarious.
Greasy so.
Something that like really got me was when she like climbs up the tree and like looks out over like the arena and sees like the bodies like lying there and like the water's like all stained in the ground, and I was like, yikes, that is like gruesome. Like I know we had like that PG-13 rating on there, but like that would have been kind of interesting to see in the movie, just like the like toll it takes and like how they were like standing together just a day before, but now they're dead again because of snow.
I wish they had left that in
Yeah.
somehow, because even just reading it, it's so like visceral, like in my mind.
Terrible.
And so just to see that in the movie, I think would have been a lot.
Right. That's how I felt about it for sure. I don't know. I just have so many like random little notes. A lot about like Finnick. I
All
feel like
about Finnick.
pretty much. I feel like because she like talks about him so much, like thinks about him. I feel like she just like views him like as like an object of the Capitol. Like she doesn't view him as like another victor who like went through these games and like suffered just as like she did. And like obviously she doesn't know like his background or anything yet, but like I just feel like right now that's how she views him. So she's like, I just have to get rid of him. I don't know, that's just like how I was thinking about it, that he was like just a part of it because like they all love him there and stuff like that. And you know,
I think it's funny how many times she mentions like that he's attractive,
yeah, she does mention it so many times.
like glistening and gorgeous when she first sees him, and then Finnick's such an amazing physical specimen. Like, okay, Katniss, we get it.
I guess your hormones are like kicking back in here.
And then how she thinks about how if worse comes to worse, I can always kill him in his sleep.
Yeah.
I just think this reminds me of like Survivor and the thought process in Survivor. Like you have the strong people who are like strategizing. They're like, if I got to get rid of this person before they get rid of me, and that's like the vibe that I'm getting. And I just love it how much she does not trust him.
Yeah.
It's the vibe.
It's the vibe.
I feel like I'm has to like skip around a lot, but I just like have notes everywhere.
No, I think it's more like action packed in these chapters.
Yeah, I saw.
Mhm.
Okay, I had like something to say, but I can't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, I talked about. Oh my gosh, why can't I find it? I talked about like right at the start of like chapter 20 when like Peeta like croaks briefly.
Gross.
I used that word last week.
I talked about her like character progression just because like in the first like book she literally like if that happened in the first book she would have been like, okay, like I don't have to worry about it now anymore, like his blood isn't in my hands, like I can go back to District 12, like problem solved, like good knowing ya. And like I mean I think she would have felt a little bit remorse more if it like happened in the end obviously, but like at the start she would have just been like okay. But then like when it happens in this book, like you can obviously see like how much she like cares for him and is like very, I don't know, I can't think of the word I was gonna use, but I just feel like it is shocking to me because she knows that like him living means she still has to like give her life for him because that's like her plan. So, like, I don't know. If he would have died right then and there, probably. I mean, I know like she didn't have like great things waiting for outside of the arena after this, but like she probably could have like trekked that on home. She didn't have to give up her life for him anymore. So I just thought it was interesting because like in the past she would have been like kind of selfish vibes, and now she's progressed into a better person.
What do you guys think would have happened if PETA had died right there?
I can't talk about that. The
She
emotional.
would have turned
I
on
would have
Spanish
stopped reading.
so fast.
Same Taylor. I would have been like, oh,
I would have
Well,
thrown
guess,
the book.
guess that's the end. Sorry.
0 stars.
No. I feel like she would have like went wild in that arena. Like she would have been real mad then. Like if Cinna got her like triggered right at the start, she would have been.
That'd be kind of cool though. She like turns insane and then just starts murdering
Like,
everyone.
yeah, just killing all the other tributes, or because like nothing matters anymore.
Probably careless because
Kill all the other tributes though, because that's like, I feel like that's against like what she would want to do. But I feel like she'd like lose her marbles for sure.
Yeah, I agree with Jerry too that she would be like very careless, like
Yeah.
nothing would matter, you know.
yeah, because her whole point is to keep Peter alive, and if he's dead, then
She doesn't want to be alive
yeah.
because she loves him.
I feel like she would just kind of give up.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't see her like going on a rampage, like killing other people.
I feel like she would just like have a
But
meltdown and then like give up.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of how I see it.
Jessica says that she would have gone savage on everyone or given up. Savage kind
It's just like one or the two. One of the two. Like no in between.
Those are like her two like, you know, I don't know, I can't think of the word. That's what she like normally like goes to when things go wrong, is either she's kind of vicious or
Or like shuts down.
yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, and then Jessica also said, Jessica said her mentality would be careless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely what Jerry said. And Jessica said before that this is also the part where you see that Katniss is in love with him.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
love like her catching Finnick, like looking at them, and she's
I
like,
know.
Yeah.
what's his deal? Okay, I like put in my little notes here. I just like, I don't know, because like we obviously don't have Peter's perspective, but I just like put when like he wakes up and she's like crying and like losing her marbles and whatnot. I was like, I wonder like what he thought about this. Like, I wonder if he thought like, wow, she just got like really great at acting these days. Or like if she was like, okay, he was like, maybe she's like feeling something for me, like some type of way, like, because that's like pretty, and like she's obviously really emotional and it's like genuine, but like he thinks she's like acting really. So like I just want to know like what his perspective was like in this moment, or if he was just like he just got fried and he's like a little too out of it to like have thoughts. I don't know.
Like PETA, are you talking about?
Yeah.
I feel like he's a little too fried.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could like I like feel like that's probably the case, but I just like think it's interesting.
I feel like we know the difference between PETA and Gale is like when you tell Gale no, he keeps like he persists. Whereas like PETA, you tell him no and he like gets upset and he mourns, but like he doesn't pester her anymore. And I
Right.
feel like until Katniss physically says like I choose you and you're the one that like will make me happy and blah 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 blah, I think he's just along for the ride until then.
Yeah, that's a good
Along
point.
for the ride.
Ooh, Cherish is here. Hi, Cherish. I'm so excited Cherish is here. Jessica said, confused Finnick. I love how he looks at her, asking like, does she really love him? Yeah.
So did he say that in the movie? He was like, when I saw you, like the way you reacted to Peter dying, that's when I realized you actually do care for him.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that conversation.
Ice. Oh my gosh. So I am obsessed ever since I was young. I've been obsessed with edits, like video edits. And I'm going to share my favorite Hunger Games one in the chat so everyone can watch it and cry later. It
My
Is
is.
it
friend-
Finnick related?
No, it's Katniss and Peeta, but it has that line in it, and that's why it reminded me of it. I
One.
will really cry every single time I watch this. It has to be one of my favorite edits of all time. So everyone can check it out. I'm gonna post it in the chat.
I'm like so excited now.
You know, everyone has homework. But that
My
would be
friend
the
sent
end of.
them-
Oh, what?
Sorry. Sorry, you can go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, was that the end of chapter 19? Like we're on to chapter 20?
I think we kind of started getting into chapter 20.
I'm like, okay, yeah, we're past
Oh,
chapter 19, 20. Jerry, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say that my friend from high school, like what she knows about me is that I was a Hunger Games fan. And so every TikTok, like she sends me every Hunger Games TikTok and it's like Finnick related. And it's like him and Mockingjay every time. And it's like I'm like, please stop, you're hurting me.
Always. Always.
I love that we're all like the Hunger Games person,
Yeah.
right? That all of our friends and people that we know.
And then let's see. I just love how they blame it on the hormones again. Like Finnick is playing this way more than Katniss is playing it.
Yeah, he's loving it.
I'm like, chill. Does he know that she's not pregnant? Like he keeps rubbing it in.
I love that she's like mad at him for saving Peeta because like she's like, okay, well, how can I kill him in his sleep now? Like
Yeah. Now she owes him.
Katniss.
And then the cool thing with the hearing happens. Okay, I love Meg so much. How she just like starts eating those like nuts. And Katniss-
She's like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm old.
She's like, I can go out the way I want to. I just love that so much.
Like, let me live my life.
Like for these chapters being so extreme, it's just so funny how much humor is in them as well. You know, not even just like Katniss being snarky. I don't know, just like the characters being who they are is just so funny.
It's so funny how much humor there is in the entire trilogy for how dark it is.
Mm-hmm. Jessica argues that Finnick really doesn't think that Katniss is pregnant. Like, is this a part of their like chat that they have? Like,
He doesn't think that she's pregnant. Plus, he's like in on the plan, so I feel like Haymitch might have been like, "Hey, like, just so you know, this is what's up."
pregnant.
Yeah.
No.
Here's the tea.
No. Like I feel like there's like like a group chat or something going on.
Oh. Group chat. I can't. What would the group chat be called?
Oh gosh, I don't even know.
Like there would be group chat where Katniss isn't even in it.
Stop.
At the end of Catching Fire is when you realize that you're not invited to the group chat. You realize there is a group chat and you're not in it.
Oh, that hurts.
Like Peeta and Katniss are both not in this group chat.
They would have to have like some like fake name, I feel, because they gotta like keep it on the DLs, like good old President Snow doesn't find out.
Butterfly.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then I also just love, because again, these are things that aren't in the movie, is where they're just like so dehydrated. And Katniss goes, I try rubbing my hand across my belly, hoping some sympathetic pregnant woman will become my sponsor.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
She's really playing all the cards.
She's
right
trying.
now. I respect it.
I'm just glad we didn't get like a urine description when they were
Yes, literally.
because I can do without that every time.
Like, I just remember reading The Hunger Games for the first time, and that just being a very like distinct moment that I can remember reading it. Just being like,
Damn.
oh, okay.
That sticks with me for sure. I'm sure.
Y'all know who she was trying to reach right with the belly thing?
But what about the baby? Oh,
That lady. You know she was lined up waiting to sponsor her.
Not the line. I can't.
she was the one who sent the smile.
Exactly.
There we go. All our problems.
Wasn't that like a rebel? Who was that?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I thought it was talking
The
about.
District 8 lady.
But what about the baby? I hate that. I forgot where that was from. I thought it was in Catching Fire. Now I remember. Fake fan.
I like when she is talking about like trying to like get the water and like oh gosh, is this when they already have this file? I think so. Yeah. When she's like thinking about like what Haymitch is thinking, it's like use your brain if you have one. Like what is it? That just like cracked me up. I don't know.
Just the way that they communicate.
Yeah. He always knows how to like get a message to her somehow, some way.
Whereas in the movie, it's like, drink up.
Yeah.
I have like no notes for this section. It's like she goes in the tree, they can't find water. She goes hunting for like that possum thing.
I don't have notes again until like 296 when the like fog comes out. And I was just like, when she's like looking at it and she's like, oh, it's like right after the rain stops. So it's like it's hot and it's just like the fog, like the steam from the rain or whatever. I'm like, okay, yeah, if I was her, I'd think the same thing. I'd have been like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore that, move on. And like I know it like looks scary and that's why she like feels some type of way about it. But I'm just like, I don't know. I'm so like oblivious. I'd have been like, okay, like it just rained, whatever. I was like, this is wow, I'm not that smart.
Just nature.
It feels so calm in the book
Yeah.
to me. Like the end of the chapter, and then yeah, it like picks up at the beginning of the next chapter. But
Yeah.
I don't know. In the movie, it's just so
It's
so good. Yeah, so intense. I'm sad that Cecilia and Cedar, they're like out on the first day.
Me too. Their deaths like always make me sad actually.
And it's like, really, that's all we get? Like, they actually had a little bit of like a part in the book. And they're just gone.
Yeah, I thought Cedar was gonna have a bigger part. I'm sorry, Jerry. Go ahead.
I just said rip.
Rip.
Some pieces.
I guess that's what's like so tragic about it too. It's like you're expecting them to have like a larger role and then they just don't.
Right. I was like, wait, I thought they were like, but yeah, no.
I just feel bad because like isn't one of the Cedar, isn't that the one that's like not like she's not like friends with Haymitch, but like I feel like they kind of know each other. And I like feel bad. Like Haymitch was
Yeah.
like the people he knows.
There's like this whole weird paragraph about Finnick like asking questions about like the rodent that Katniss shot,
Right.
and I'm like, what is this even? Like, what is this?
Like relevant. Like why did Suzanne put this in there? Like who cares?
I know. I'm like, Suzanne, what is there a point to this, or am I forgetting something?
I'm like, and I'm like, I was like trying to read between the lines. I'm like, is this something with the like rebellion? Is he trying to like the tree rat telling us something about that so he like knows what to do next?
Is he trying to learn how to hunt? Like,
like
or is he just that bored? Like, what?
I was thinking there was like a reason behind it, but it really was not connecting for me.
Wait, was it maybe because he wanted to find out where it was getting its source of water? Because Katniss was like, oh, its snout was wet.
Maybe that is it. Maybe it's just as basic as that.
Yeah, maybe. That kind of makes sense.
Who else? Oh, sorry,
wait.
go ahead.
No,
No, go ahead.
Oh my gosh. I really had nothing interesting in a value to say. But a part that made me laugh is when she is like ready to like slaughter Finnick up in here, and like Peeta steps in between and she's like, move, you idiot. And I like,
yeah,
Katniss is not playing around.
Good job, Peeta.
Like I was like, oh my gosh.
Do you know what that part reminds me of? When Mike Newton comes in when Bella and Jacob are talking at the movie theater after he gets sick. Anybody?
I'm with you. Yeah.
Like he just like they're
My
having like a serious
favorite
moment,
scene.
and then he just like walks in.
Who is
That's what it
Bella?
reminded me of.
That's my favorite scene from the whole, like all of the Twilight movies.
What?
Feeling sick? Maybe you need to go to the hospital. Do you want me to put you in a hospital? Love that. Those lines are.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
That is. It's iconic. Oh,
Feel that though, like it is an intense moment, and then like all of a sudden it's like, oh, this guy.
And then Peeta just pops in, like, "All right, guys,
Bella's like,
what's up?"
Jacob, you're so hot. Means a lot to me.
Why is it
feel
like
sad. Okay, sorry.
No, mine was not relevant to anything we were talking about right now. So you can go.
Well, I was just gonna say that I'm sad AJ's not here for the Spile
Yeah. What the
talk.
heck?
Oh,
I was thinking of AJ while I was reading it. AJ, this is on you. It's like when you missed the Into the Arena.
Into the Arena.
Right?
Because little known fact, it was Emily who came up with the idea for the name. So
Didn't you say it was your idea?
no.
when I wasn't on. I think I remember that.
No, I didn't say that. What are you talking about? But no, it was Emily.
All credit goes to me.
Flashback to us literally just like flipping through the pages of the book to try and find something that that seems right.
Here we are now. We're into the arena with our friends now. We're not alone.
Oh my gosh. I feel like you guys were never alone.
But at first we were just preaching to like nobody, but it's fine.
I was listening from day one. You guys keep my recommended.
Oh, gee. But yeah, I think this is like, I feel like so many people would argue this, but I would say the fog is probably the scariest portion of the arena that we know of. Like, I would rather be surrounded by those monkeys than be in the
Yeah.
fog.
You can like outrun the monkeys, you know, and like kill them.
The fog is
no, yeah. No, I'd take fog any day.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm more scared of the
Sign me
monkeys.
I don't want to like fight anything.
Now, what gets me is I think like they talk about some like unknown insect like a few chapters later that like they don't know what it does, and like I don't know, bugs are not really for me. And I feel like it would be some sort of like horrifying flesh eating creature, and I can't really get behind swarms of bugs.
It would just be cool to know what all the different sections were. Because I know people like speculate what some of them are, but it's like to know them would be so cool.
Not Suzanne just keeping her silence, not telling us anything about anything.
Gatekeeping. She's the queen of gatekeeping.
Yeah, she really likes to leave them. I like that she does leave the mystery because like it leaves like it up to the fans to like theorize about what's happening, but also I'd like to like have some facts.
Yeah. The worst thing is when you get too much information
Yeah.
and then you don't agree with it, or it changes like what you've been thinking for years.
Yeah.
Like one's a Harry Potter section where all you're allowed to do is watch Harry Potter and go to the Harry Potter amusement parks, and then you just want to die. That would be my own personal terror.
Not the gruesome Harry Potter talk.
And then they force butterbeer down your throat, and you're just gagging on.
Butterbeer is so good. Stop.
Stop it.
I can't. I like Harry Potter.
Me too.
Me too.
It's comforting. It's the first book series I like read ever.
This
Like
Shout
I
out
didn't think I would. I didn't think I would ever like it. I didn't read it until I was like probably like 22 or something, and then
Yeah.
I loved it.
I read it in high
just
school, so
couldn't-
I was late
could
too.
not put it down. Somebody like recommended it, and they were like, "Here, you can have this copy." And I was like, "Okay," and I was like, "I'll never read this." And then I read it, and then I couldn't put it down.
Why was I like a toddler when I read all these like series out here? In third grade when I was reading that.
First
Did
book
you-
series was the 39 Clues. Shout out to the Cahills. If you know, you know.
I'm so I was a big fan. Yeah.
Does anybody not like it? Jerry, Tina? Me and Chase don't like it.
Um,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
I watched the movies not recently, but like last year.
I'm
Mhm.
sorry
I
for
only
your eyes.
read
I like
I
the
only
movie.
read the first book and like half of the second book.
Me too. Literally same.
I I mean, I didn't really understand like how it's like. I never really understood the hype of it, but I understand why people like enjoy it.
Hmm.
But like it's not really my thing.
I
Just
would
Yeah.
say Percy Jackson is way better. So
I like Percy Jackson way more, but I read Percy Jackson, so
you guys need to either sway Jessica in trying to reread Harry Potter,
No.
not, which
Jessica knows what's up. Cheese buns and Harry Potter. We don't need to sway Jessica. Jessica's in the right camp.
The
Oh,
books
See,
are
like I used to be one of those people that was like, "Ew, Harry Potter, gross," and now I love it. I love it.
I'm just scared of the ones that are like really big like fans. It kind of frightens me. I know I'm like a big fan of the world, and I'm sure I would frighten others if I was more like open about it. But I don't know, the Harry Potter fans, they scare me a little. I like the movies. Like I don't know that I need to read the books again, but like the movies are like I think they're comforting.
Yes,
I like
they're
the movies,
scary.
too.
They're like
they are
scary.
They're creepy. Yeah, I agree
Like
with that.
take the cape off, put the stick up. That's not a wand, and calm down.
oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Jinx.
Sorry.
And,
Hey,
like,
no, hey, if you like to do that, live it up.
Live it up.
But then it's also just like being a Hunger Games fan. Like you can't tell people that's like the first thing that you enjoy. Like I will never like openly say like the Hunger Games is my favorite of all things. Like
I
don't
do because that's what I've
Oh.
got. Like, what, what else am I
so,
going to
like,
talk about?
comfortable. Like of course I'll bring it up, but then it's like, especially when I first read it and I was like 11, 12, like telling my parents the concept of this book that I was obsessed with, the first thing that I ever was obsessed with, being kids killing each other, it doesn't really sit well with people.
yeah, my
It
parents-
is really hard to explain the Hunger Games to someone that has never read it or seen the movies because they just think you're reading something that's like horrible, but you're like, it's really not. You have to read it.
I'm a sociopath.
I'll never forget my mom's face when we were in the movie theater. I was 12 years old and she was watching the bloodbath for the first time and didn't know what the movie was about. And her mouth was just open in shock, staring at the screen. And then she looked at me and said, "Are you serious?"
You're in big trouble, mister.
Too late. We're already here. We're halfway through. We're going to stick it out.
goodness, my parents were like fans. Like they had to go with me because I was like a little kid, and they like got into like they loved it. My dad was like, "So when are we pre-ordering tickets?" Like,
Aww.
I love that.
good memories. But yeah, it's kind of hard to like talk about with other people because they're like, "Are you serious?" I literally just a couple weeks ago was talking about like why I wanted to be an English major, and this like person I was talking to was like, "Are you gonna say that it was like books like The Hunger Games that like got you into it or something?" I was like, "Whoa, now."
You're like, don't you dare.
The answer is
Watch
yes.
yourself.
I'm like, "Whoa, now." I'm like,
Those
"What?"
are fighting words.
I was like trying to explain why, and he was just arguing with me, and I was like, "No." I'm like, "You are not gonna tell me." Like, I'm like, "Don't hit me with that."
Mm-mm. Defend it.
Yeah, I was. I like don't have any. I was like on my notes.
Yeah.
Me
just-
too.
Anyone else have anything from these chapters?
Was this the shortest one in the history of?
I know, I
Book
was not expecting that.
Hey, first big. Hey.
I still have to make those other audio clips from last week. Them. So yeah, short episode tonight, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Especially compared to last week.
This
Yeah,
is
that was like 2
It was
hours
like
long.
2 hours.
It's not even
over
10
2
o'clock
hours.
yet.
night is young, everyone.
But I do want to, real quick, I do want to argue that if someone were to come up to me and I would be loud and proud with saying The Hunger Games is my favorite trilogy because, I mean, what draws us to dystopian novels? It's the idea that you're fighting something that seems impossible, but when you unite together, it's just, it's supposed to be inspiring. So it's like, I don't know. I'm loud and proud, and I will die on that hill if someone challenges me like that. Like, oh, don't tell me you became an English major because, yeah, I became an English major because of the Hunger Games. Absolutely.
Have you read it?
It's like, have you seen Thailand and inspired rebellions, actual rebellions in real life? Get the hell out of here. Don't even.
Yeah, I agree,
Yeah.
Tina. Thank you. Like, I feel like I lean that way too. And it might just be because I'm older now. I don't know. Like, all my coworkers know. They're like, how's that podcast going? I'm like, it's great.
Yeah, I
Everybody
mean, I
knows.
feel that way as I get older, but like when I was younger, I was a lot more like weird about it. I don't know. I just like people when like I like talk about stuff like that, especially like with becoming an English major. Everyone's always like acts like you have to like read the classics and stuff to like I don't know have
Mm.
like
Yeah,
knowledge.
and it's like, that's
And the
infuriating.
classics suck most of the time.
I actually do happen to like the classics.
There are some really great dystopian
My bad.
classics.
Are there?
So,
1984,
But I don't like.
1984.
The Handmaid's Tale,
Yeah.
Brave
Shout
New
out
World.
Frankenstein.
Harrison Bergeron.
Oh yeah, Harrison Bergeron. I have a good feeling Suzanne
That's a good
Collins was
one.
Diary of a
inspired
Wimpy Kid.
partially.
Oh,
Oh man, the cheese
Classic.
touch.
Hashtag Fregley.
The cheese touch. No, I just like I don't know. I mean, like I get what they're saying. Like I think you should read the classics if you can and if you so please. But I don't think we should like downplay like reading like YA novels and stuff like that. Like that frustrates me. I hate that.
Yeah, I agree. As a teacher who just loves when my students enjoy reading, I am like, anything you enjoy, read it. Like,
Yeah.
just if you like it, read it.
Right. Exactly.
Totally. It doesn't have to be sophisticated to be good. I mean, just look at Harry Potter. It's not like, oh, but it's not like a Russian freaking, depressing novel. It's like, no, but I mean, it's still equally important because, I mean, didn't Einstein himself say creativity and imagination is equates to genius? So it's like, get the hell out of here. That like upsets me.
I've seen a
I
lot
don't
of
know why that
people
was so
say
funny.
sorry.
I said I don't know why that was so funny.
This is the backhanded compliment for Harry
It
Potter.
makes me want to read a depressing Russian novel.
I don't know, like I feel like new classics come about. Like, yeah, those are like the old classics written like who knows when, but like I don't know, I've seen a lot of like TikToks and like people talk about like different books from like more this generation and like this time, like the 2000s and stuff that are like popular and like famous. And like a lot of people say like the Hunger Games, like the first book of the Hunger Games is like going to be like a classic. Like it's going to be like famous. People are always going to like know it and it's going to be taught because of like what the story is about. So I'm like, I don't like understand when people make that argument because I'm like, haven't you heard? Like, I don't know.
Definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
You see, like 200 years from now, people watching or doing book reports on Hunger Games.
I mean, 1984 is a required read. At least it was for me. And Hunger Games is literally just basically an updated young adult version of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, mic drop. Don't even, guys.
I can't. That's my rant for the day.
well, I would like to say that after months of hating Emily for recommending Scythe nonstop, I read the first and second book, and Emily was right. They're amazing books. And
Yes, Holly. Everybody read Scythe.
I was
Not to start something, but Emily, did you know that she had been hating you for months?
over the record.
Fight,
Not the
fight.
quarrel starting.
No, I
We're
had just-
actually we're canceling the podcast because we're starting a Scythe podcast. Actually, is what's happening.
no, but for months Emily knew that she was like, "You need to read this. Like, read it," and I was like, "No, I can't."
I gave up hope. So
Yeah, and here I am. I came back with that 1%. Everyone go read them. They're amazing. I have one more book to read.
To read
There's-
Dry. I like the same here, I think.
Can we get a synopsis?
Emily,
Oh.
do a synopsis.
Oh, okay.
synopsis. Okay, so
Tell it.
in the future, the world is a utopia where we've conquered death, so nobody dies, but we have to control population. So there are these scythes that are appointed to go around killing people, or gleaning as it's called in the series. And yeah, there's 2 characters who were chosen to be apprentice scythes, and it's fun from there.
It's like, let me tell you, you may think you know where it's going, but you don't, and it's insane. And every single one of you in this chat would love it, because
I mean, it's dystopia, well, like utopia, but it's so like the Hunger Games, in the fact that there's like twists and turns that you don't expect, and like the world building is really good, and it just makes you think about life and death.
Yeah.
We talked about it in like class.
Yeah, so read it. Everyone read it.
They're really, I think, isn't it like 2 brothers or something that are authors? I know there's like, I don't know if like one of them just writes mostly, but I read another book by them for my dystopian lit class called Dry, and it was so good.
Yeah, it's his son.
Okay. I knew it was like some sort of family members somehow, some way.
Is that the one about the water?
Yeah, I thought it was so good. I loved it. I wrote an essay on it.
Called Drive.
I know what that is, but I have not read it.
It's good.
Oh my gosh.
It's like dystopian vibes, kind of. Not
Wait,
like not in the future, but like it feels that way.
That sounds so
Hey,
cool.
if anyone wants one that's really similar to the Hunger Games, like close to a knockoff almost, but you just want your fix, it's like heroin. It's Fire and Flood by somebody, but it's really, really, really good. It's like, I've heard it compared as the Hunger Games and Pokemon put together, because it involves animals that have special abilities. Really cool. Just another thought, if you're bored, you want to read it.
Ooh. Sort of dystopian book club over here.
Yeah, I feel like we gotta all talk about books that we love.
But see, the weird thing about that book is it's not even dystopian. It's like in the real world. It's really weird, but you just have to read it. I forgot who the author is. Victoria Scott, Fire and Flood. Look it up.
I've heard that name.
Yes, it's a really good book. I haven't read the sequel, but I have it. I just haven't read it.
Oh my gosh. So today I found out like what my final essay is for one of my English classes. And I thought you guys would find this interesting, because I have to write an 8-page essay on heroine, like heroines. I can't like say that word. Like female heroines are, like not likable, like dislikable. Like people don't like when they read the books. And I thought of like Katniss.
That's so sweet.
I thought this was related to the heroine that Chase was talking about.
It's like that word sounds the same, but it's like different. So yeah, but that's what I have to write about, is like dislikable. I'm like,
What are you gonna write about? Are you gonna write about Katniss or something else?
I unfortunately cannot. I have to write about a character from a Jane Austen book. So it's gonna be like,
well, that's fine.
Lydia Bennett, or like Emma from Emma. So that's where I'm at with that, unfortunately. But
I could write a 20-page paper on like why I hate Emma.
yeah, everyone hates Emma. That's why we're like writing the essay. That's like the whole like purpose of it. So yeah.
Sounds fun.
I'm listening to The Sea of Monsters. I finished
Yes.
The Lightning Thief.
Yes, those audiobooks are so good.
Yeah.
I need to reread those books like ASAP.
They are the best. And Heroes of Olympus. Oh my god. See, that was like, for me, those are the characters that I grew up with, instead of like growing up with Harry Potter.
Same.
Yeah, I read Percy Jackson.
I did read Percy Jackson.
I wasn't allowed to read Harry Potter,
Me either.
People weren't.
but like when I got older, I was like, "Mom, can I read them?" And she was like, "Yeah, okay." Like,
And then you're like,
something
wait, it's
switched.
right?
Yeah, something switched in
Never.
between like those ages, so I don't know. But I tried to read the books, and I was like, hey, I'm just gonna watch the movies because I'm probably never gonna read the books. And I'm not like a hater like Chase, but I wouldn't consider myself a fan or like something like that. Yeah.
I actually probably would still like them if I reread them. I just get tired of them. They're everywhere.
It is everywhere, and
It's
it is
yeah.
disheartening when you love something that isn't everywhere.
Yeah.
See, like I said last week, I'm kind of glad it's not everywhere, because then what if the Hunger Games turned into the Harry Potter?
Yeah, then I would hate it.
That would scare me.
Yeah.
Harry Potter fans and Star Wars fans.
Oh my! Don't get me started on the Star Wars people.
Feeling very attacked. tonight.
Taylor's like, why did I come on tonight?
I am really excited to read those Percy Jackson books, though. Like I told you guys, one of my students got me that whole set.
Yeah,
His church was having a little.
To them.
They were doing like a little sale. Actually, I found out his grandma, I guess, cleaned out a bunch of books, and they did like a donation to their church. And then he like brought a bunch for his friends, and he also brought some to the librarian too. And he brought me those Percy Jackson ones. So I think that's going to be my summer reading this summer.
Oh,
I always have a book
for you
that I like.
Did you give him extra credit or something?
No, I did write him a thank you note.
Oh, that's nice.
What age group do you teach?
6th grade.
Oh, nice. That I want to teach middle school, like 6th grade.
Yeah, middle school's fun.
Yeah, everyone says I'm like crazy for doing it, but I don't know. That's like such a good age. They still like to like learn, and they're like funny and like kids still.
Yeah, I'm scared of
say
high
you're crazy.
schoolers. High schoolers are scary.
High schoolers are mean and scary, and they learn boring stuff. Like I'm not. teaching.
Yeah,
My
I like
middle
a
school
lot more.
classmates made some of my teachers cry. Like,
Yeah, I've cried. I've
Yeah, like,
cried.
I could make someone cry, so like I feel like that just comes with the job.
Taylor, do you ever
Yeah.
see them reading the Hunger Games?
Yeah, the one that got me the Percy Jackson books is currently reading the Hunger Games.
We're still Games.
Oh, there's hope.
What?
Said there's hope. I always
Yeah.
like attack kids. If I see them reading, I'm like, "Hey, do you like that book?" And they're like, "Yeah." Who are you? And why are you in my school? And I'm like, "Oh my bad."
I'm currently on my 3rd attempt to read the 3rd Dune book. So it's like you got to have a lot of like motivation to get through those books.
That book's the
They're
first one at least is big, isn't it?
Yes. And it's not easy to understand, but it's like once you get through it, you like it. It's a
Watching the
chore, but it's really good.
I don't think I could do that. I love sci-fi, but I think it probably reads more like, from what I've heard, like a fantasy novel with all like the detail and
It's-
everything, and I can't do that. So
It's kind of just that there's like too much detail with not enough explanation. But it's like it's hard to explain it. It's like I have a love-hate relationship with it. I love it, but at the same time it's very it's like I can't just sit down and read it like I can the Hunger Games. It's like I gotta have like focus. I gotta be able to focus and like think. It's a lot.
maybe if it has a good audiobook. I don't know.
Yeah.
Audiobook is like all I do nowadays.
I can't do
Yeah.
audiobooks.
I hate audiobooks.
Me
Yeah, I
too.
fall asleep
Oh,
when
I
I
do.
listen to them.
I don't like
It's,
to.
it's because you're listening to like kids on YouTube. Like, you got to listen to some real audiobooks.
But like, I feel like I'm not reading the book. Do you all feel that way, or do you feel like it's reading?
practicing the
You're
information.
reading.
Like you're getting.
I know that's a
read
big
to.
debate with some people.
Your
like, is
brain
it reading or
processes
not?
it the same way.
Yeah.
So
Like I don't like it doesn't like go in my brain and stay in there.
Mm.
Like it just like
Yeah, I'm not good at sitting down and listening to things. I have to like do it or I'll fall asleep or I'll get distracted.
I could listen in my car, but I wouldn't want to like end off on like some random spot because I like arrived at my destination or something. Like that would bother me.
Yeah.
I do that falling asleep. Like, I fall asleep listening to audiobooks and then have to work to figure out where I left off.
I can do it for like a book that I've read 100 times. Like I could definitely do it for the Hunger Games books because I like know them. But a book that I don't know that I'm reading for the first time, definitely not.
I drive and do my work while listening to audiobooks. That's what I did today. So like you have like you're focusing on driving and stuff, but you can listen. So just
Mhm.
like listen to music.
Yeah.
So relax.
That's all I do. I haven't read. The last book I read was Ballad for the First Time. I really wish I could like get back into reading books, but I just don't have time.
Yeah, definitely time. I agree.
Like if there's like another like, you know, shutdown then maybe or lockdown. But hoping that never happens again. But
Yeah.
that would probably be the only like actual time I could read a book.
Yeah, the summer is the only time I really
I read-
can.
And well, I guess I read all school year long, but like I read for fun during the summer. I was gonna say that like last week I talked about my little like Hunger Games fan account that I have. I'm like, oh yeah, like keep it a secret. I don't like
I've been trying to figure it out.
Yeah, someone found it. Someone found it. So
Who's someone?
Uh-oh.
I feel like if I say it, I'm gonna be found out.
You have to say it.
I feel like I can't. I don't know if I want to expose it yet. I want you guys to keep like looking, and I feel like if
Wait, no. I don't want
if I
Have you been active? Because I've been trying to pay attention.
yeah, I've been active. The way that like Holly and Emily should be able to figure it out so easily.
What the heck?
What?
Like it, I don't want to like say how you guys should be able to figure it out because then you
Is it the Panem Panic one? No, I keep looking at people's like descriptions to see,
Oh, mine is
and I see their names in there, and I'm like, oh, that's not Nicole.
mine is so like obscure. My like I like just kind of like restarted up. It's like she's a newbie because I used to have one and then that one is just like dusty and embarrassing and scary. So I'm like staying away from that. That one's in the archives forever. But yeah, just kind of like revamped her. But like when if someone found it.
Did you happen to reorganize your shelves last night at 4 a.m.?
No.
to.
Okay, well then it's not the person I'm thinking of.
I knew that.
I
Because
feel
they
like
too.
posted something about reorganizing their shelves last night.
I want someone to like comment on one of my things or like DM. I just like want someone to like interact with it and then I'll just be like, it's me.
I don't want to be the last person to figure it out.
You and Holly, I just, like have the answer. You have it. Like I can't. It just cracks me up.
Okay, well, this is just gonna frustrate me even more than it already was.
Once you guys figure it out, then I'd probably use the account. But like right now, it's just kind of like that, like embarrassing, awkward. Like I don't really know what I'm doing with it yet, so it's just kind of like there.
I'm
Stage.
excited. I will
I'm
find
excited for you guys to find it now. I don't want to like admit to it live and in person.
the live reveal.
Yeah, I don't want.
From Studio 1A and Rock Up.
I can't. Oh gosh, it's just so funny to me. I don't know. The way you guys are like looking.
You're so dumb.
No, you're not. I mean, like, it's very obscure. Like, I'm like secretive. I don't know. Which I don't know why, but I don't know.
We'll find it.
I'm like looking to see if there's like any other recent action where
Are we following you?
no.
Like, not me literally going through
Exactly.
activity history right now. Like,
Can we get a hint? Any type of hint? A color
it's
of
a
your
Hunger
profile
Games
picture?
your or username, right?
I'm
Can we
trying
get the color of your profile picture?
The star-crossed Mockingjay.
That's it.
What?
That's it.
You're kidding!
Yeah.
Stop. I clicked on the first one that I was like,
What the heck?
I literally was dying laughing because like
yes.
before I like talked like on here, I had like was driving back from home to school and I like tagged you guys in my story and was like, oh, like da 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 da, like this is my favorite podcast, like I love them, like like you should go listen to them. And you guys literally were like, oh my gosh, like thank you so much, and like reposted it on your story. And I was like, LOL.
Stop.
No.
That's it.
Girls literally have it in their hands, like it is there for them.
Dang it.
I didn't really know what I wanted the username to be, so it's kind of just like whatever right now. But
I love that. It's so cute. And I did. You have
You
to
should have got that too because you do say like in the car that you listen.
yeah, I literally like
Dang.
put it right there in front of you.
I
It's like
swear.
the Riddler.
I just went on to our followers and like scrolled down and picked an account. I'm so
Holly.
that's epic.
So like I mean like I felt like because like I talked about like the steelbook set and like I don't know, like I felt like if anyone like clicked on like where I talk about like my first like copies of the books and stuff, you would like get the vibe that like it's me because of like how I talk and stuff and how I talk about the series. But like it was Jessica who first
Of course it was.
He's the best. I mean, literally the greatest.
I wanted to like DM her and be like, hey girl.
Yeah, Nicole just said I follow you. Or not Nicole. Jessica said I follow you, Nicole.
Yeah.
So
Yep, so that's me. So
That's
now I'll
fun.
probably interact with you guys on there, but I was like keeping a little secret for funsies for a while.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
We just solved the greatest mystery of all.
Jessica's coming on next week, so
Yay!
it's gonna be a good time.
Yay!
I love that.
Awesome.
Finally, we can get some defense in this place.
Oh my god.
No cheese buns.
Not
Yeah, we got to bring it up now. I have somebody on my side. Jessica, be thinking about what we can say.
Brainstorm for next week.
Yeah.
Oh, well, sweet. Okay, next week, chapters 21 and 22. So, very exciting. And yeah, watch our new episode. Check out everyone's Instagrams. Yes.
Follow Nicole's
Adam.
Instagram.
Oh my god.
Across Mockingjay.
Yeah, I can't. Oh my goodness.
I'm so
Adam Driver for Hey Mitch. I feel like he's a little too young.
Watching it?
You
I
watched
mean, it wasn't that serious. I mean,
it could happen, and I would want it to happen.
Oh
So
my gosh.
Watch it.
okay.
Oh my gosh. It's cracking me up. You guys.
but what do you guys think about Lin-Manuel Miranda?
Oh. No. Does anyone hate him as much as I do?
I
Wait,
like this.
What?
I don't like hate him, but like, I don't know.
He
Hamilton's
is like
not
the
good.
Shakespeare of our time.
What?
So
Chase,
cringe.
Chase.
what did you just say?
It
What?
is
Bye.
goofy.
Leave.
It
is goofy.
Leave.
It's so
Kick him out.
goofy.
Kick him out. Kick him out. Kick him out.
Like, I
Bye.
can't even
Bye.
comprehend that
Bye.
statement.
So silly. The
What?
lip fight.
Hamilton is a work of genius.
It really
No,
is.
okay, y'all want to hear a story?
No.
No.
I was at a summer thing for my high school. It was like before my senior year of high school, and these kids started singing this song, and I was like, what the heck is this crap? And then they all start chanting in, and I'm like literally sitting in the middle of this. I'm like, am I about to get like sacrificed? Like they're singing it together. And then I realized
I'm
they're
not
talking
throwing
about
away my
Hamilton.
shot. I'm
No.
not throwing away my shot.
And once I realized it was Hamilton, I wanted to be sacrificed. It was that bad. I was like, get me out of here, please.
No.
Harry Potter, Hamilton, and Star Wars. They
No,
all-
no, you
No,
cannot.
no,
you cannot
no,
put,
it's
no,
not
no,
even the
stop,
same thing.
Stop. You cannot. You cannot. No, you can't put.
Not us
no.
about to close this out and then getting into a feud.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna end
Chase,
there, and all I'm
you
gonna say is that Lin-Manuel sucks. Good night, everyone.
Yeah, not a fan.
No.
Yes.